So 6 inches of it, it's just, it's a nice covering, but it's not going to take anything off the time. It might feel a bit dead to them. The time suggests it's perfect. I mean, it really is. There's no excuses. A horse that wants soft ground isn't going to be saying ouch, ouch, and a horse that wants good ground is going to enjoy it.
So, let's move on to Douvan. Set to be, if he wins this, the shortest price winner in the history of the race. Simon Sigg was it before, at 8 to 15. Douvan, nobody can hear of defeat, even though Min has just been turned over in the first.
Oh, well, yeah, a different kettle of fish, really, isn't it? I mean, there are plenty of grounds for thinking that, barring an accident, that he is... it's very difficult to see him not winning this. I mean, he's got course form, obviously, as shown by winning the Supreme last year, and in novice chase form has looked more and more impressive.
He has, and Willie Mullins has praised Douvan in terms of how he's a big horse, more than 17 hands, but he still has agility. You've seen him be able to put himself right when he's made a mistake.
Yes, he doesn't look like a novice. He looks like an accomplished horse already, and the last win was sort of really quite an eye-opener, wasn't it?
It was, even though probably beating Sizing John on paper was the better performance. It was just the way that he responded when Bibby Walsh gave a little exploratory squeeze and he ran through the line to beat Velvet Maker. Yes,
I mean, it's obvious, but it's very, very difficult to see any of these being good enough to beat him, as I say, barring a mishap.
OK, let's have a look at those that are going to have a go. Vanateur would be one of them. Now, he's improved over fences. He jumps really well. I like the shape he makes. Yeah,
I know he made a sort of slight fluff 2 out at Kempton when he was beaten by Ahmad, but, I mean, they were going flat out round there, and largely he does jump well, and he's managed to beat Arzal at Doncaster. I mean, it's definitely the best British form. Not that that sort of says a lot given what we've got in the race, but he's produced a really decent level of novice chase form. At the same time, I'd describe him as a 95% horse.
Yeah, how much fight has he got in him?
Well, yes, I mean, I'd give lots of credit to Ahmad for beating him at Kempton, but at the same time, he looked like he'd taken that horse's measure and somehow managed to get beaten.
This sounder surface will be a good thing for him?
Yeah, I think so. I think that. And as we heard at the weekend, Nicky Henderson said he pretty certainly could finish second if they rode him for second, but what's the point of running in a race like this if you're not going to have a go?
You've got to have a go.
Yes.
You've got to have a go. Sizing John's having a go for the 5th time against Douvan. He's seen his backside 4 times in races.
And it's a bit difficult to see why it should be any different here. I mean, he was creditable 3rd in the Supreme last year, but he's getting further away rather than closer, isn't he, really? I mean, he's good horse though he is.
I feel that whereas Vanateur has taken a step forward over fences, I'm not convinced that Sizing John necessarily has.
No, he might not have done. I think perhaps the win in November was better than the subsequent defeat.
The Game Changer was busy on ground such as this back over in the summer and in the early part of the autumn. We haven't seen him since October, and since then he's had a breathing operation.
Yeah, now, the fact that the ground, whatever the jockeys want to call it, is essentially good will be a bonus for the Game Changer. I think that will definitely be a plus for him. I wonder whether he wants a flat track. This is what we'll get told this afternoon, but I quite like the idea that he's just been off for months, and they were talking openly about the spring festivals last autumn, and well, here he is.
Fox Norton has got some good efforts over fences, behind Garde la Victoire, behind Vanateur, behind Violet Dancer, but they were going to head to France until this race started to cut up.
Yes, the operative word in all that you just said there was behind each time, wasn't it? Again, he's run well, but there's no real reason to suspect that he should be good enough to win this.
Baltimore Rock, 7th in the county last year, plenty of county form represented here. He's wearing cheek pieces for the first time.
I know. I'm not sure whether that's a reaction to the defeat at Chepstow. Again, for all that he's had a creditable start to his chasing career, there's nothing that suggests he's within £25 of Douvan, really.
A sounder surface should suit him. And how about ASO? Does that apply to him, however? He seems to be better in deeper ground, perhaps.
Possibly, but again, I don't think the ground is an excuse here, and he is a consistent horse, and I know he's the outsider of this lot, but I could certainly see him beating 2 or 3 of them.
Interesting. So we have the Racing Post Arkle Challenge Trophy chase. We have a fabulous horse potentially in Douvan. Could he be the best that Willie Mullins has ever trained? We're shortly going to find more evidence on that score. Let's join Ian Bartlett, who has the call.
So out on the track at the beginning of the home straight, they're about to sort themselves out. Flags up, starter ready for them. They're about to walk forwards. Have 13 fences to jump. Douvan about 2 to 7 near the off. Walking in now. They're off. They race away then. 2 miles is the trip for the Racing Post Arkle, and 13 fences to jump. The red cap of Sizing John just about in front as they come to the first of those 13. Pink jacket of Douvan was next to him. Not the best of leaps from Azzo in the blue and white jacket towards the inside of the rear of the field. Fox Norton in yellow colours is close up in third position. There's a tiny error there from the Game Changer in the maroon and white jacket, who's just about one from the rear of the field. The second favourite, Vanitor in the grey jacket, is holding fourth position at the moment. Then the Game Changer from Baltimore Rock, who's to the left, nose banded a light blue jacket. The royal blue and white colours of Azzo is just at the rear of the field as they take number 3. They all took safely. It's a short run down to 4. And moving on towards it, Douvan now in the pink jacket is just about in front as they swing left-handed. Goes on by only a half length to Sizing John with the red cap in second place. As they run to 5, Vanitor has moved up 1 position. He takes third place from the yellow jacket of Fox Norton, who's about a length behind him in 4th. The Game Changer and Baltimore Rock are together in 6th and 7th places as they jump this, and Azzo is about 1 length behind those, and in total about 8 lengths behind the leader and favourite Douvan as they now race away to the far side, heading on towards number 6, which is a plain fence before they take the water. And it continues to be Douvan. Strides along now by around about a length to Sizing John in second. Vanitor has just about been joined again by Fox Norton in third and fourth places as they head now to the water jump number 7. Azzo, the Game Changer, and Baltimore Rock are the final trio virtually in line at the rear of the field. 2 open ditches in the race. Number 8, the next one, and then in 3 fences time, number 10. So Douvan in the pink jacket, Ruby Walsh, continues to lead as they come to the first of these ditches. They're all over it okay. Johnny Burke on Sizing John in second place. Another plain fence coming up. Then Vanitor, a grey jacket, Nico de Boinville, about 2 lengths off the leader at this stage. They jump this all okay. Fox Norton, Richard Johnson in a yellow jacket against the running rail. Then the blue and white Aidan Coleman on Azzo. The Game Changer, maroon colours for Brian Cooper, and Noel Feely on Baltimore Rock in the light blue, just moving ahead of those. He's up into 5th place. This is the open ditch now at the top of the hill. Number 10 of the 13. Douvan up and over safely. They all took it okay. Sizing John was a length off the lever in second place as they come to the top of the hill, and the left-handed swing for home. Vanitor's a neck behind in third place. Baltimore Rock making progress towards the outside of Fox Norton. Behind those is the Game Changers. 2 or 3 lengths then to Azzo, begins to struggle at the rear of the field. Downhill on the side of the course, 1 fence to take here, the 3rd from the finish, and it's Douvan continues to be in front, leading to Vanitor's just about taken second place now. Sizing John is next as they jump the 3rd last, and then there's the Game Changer beginning to run on in the maroon and white jacket, but they're heading to the home turn. Everybody's at work, but not Ruby Walsh at the moment on Douvan, but they're laying it down to him now. Vanitor tries to get alongside in the grey jacket as they race towards the home turn. Sizing John is 2 lengths behind those in 3rd place. The Game Changer is running on. They're into the home straight. On the right is Douvan at the second last. Big lead, got over it safely. Vanitor has unseated rider. Baltimore Rock has gone. The Game Changer and Sizing John are 2nd and 3rd. Douvan took a chance at the last, but he was good. He landed 7 lengths clear. And it's Douvan and Ruby Walsh head up to the straight to the winning line in the Racing Post Arkle and wins hard to the line. Douvan wins it. Sizing John in 2nd. Fox Norton will be 3rd. Then the Game Changer and Azzo.
Well, this was deemed to be the biggest certainty of the week, perhaps. Douvan, the horse that both Rich Ritchie and Willie Mullins thinks is potentially the most talented that they have trained and that they have been associated with. He's jumped beautifully here, apart from maybe a slight dodgy one at the last. And he was being challenged at the second last, but seemed to be just lobbing along in second gear at the time, when unfortunately we lost Vaneter, who was trying to put it up to him, and that left Douvan in the lead. And he went on to win, despite that little error at the final fence, in very, very good style. Sizing John has finished second to him again, and that's 0-5 in the score against Douvan, but he's run well for Jonathan Burke and Henry de Bomhead. Third was Fox Norton, fourth the Game Changer, and what a real shame that Vaneter's round ended as it did, because he'd been given a harrying ride by Nico de Boinville. He was trying to lay it down to Douvan, but in the end his jumping faltered.
There was no question of riding to finish second, was there? He was going to get beaten, but he's really given it a go, and the jump from Douvan 2 out, I think he's done through. You know, he's about, it's not quite being half length, but you know, he just couldn't meet it in the same way that Douvan has, and sadly he's fallen, because he really was doing his absolute level best.
It's always, all the horses and jockeys are up okay. Important note, all the horses and jockeys are okay. It's always a tricky fence just coming off that bend, and particularly when you're under pressure to try and deal with a talent as big as Douvan.
He was flat out, and Douvan took up just before him, and it was one of those. And Baltimore Rock had a similar looking fall a bit further behind him. Slightly guessy jump at the last, bar that Douvan was foot perfect.
He was. He just comes up that fraction quicker than you expect. He seems to measure his fences. It's such an intelligent round. We'll have a look at the departure of Vaneter one more time, just after the bend. So often, particularly when you're on the stretch, and he gives a bump to the Game Changer, so often it can end like that. Baltimore Rock also taking a tumble, and there's that guess at the last.
That was the only guess. I mean, his jumping is just immaculate, as we'll see in the replay. But ultimately, of course, Vaneter is an unseat, or they had no chance whatsoever of staying on. And no, he's ended up just winning in fantastic style.
Given that his round was littered with errors, ASO has ended up finishing quite close up.
Tremendous. I mean, he didn't miss many, and he's ran on gallantly to be in the mix for a place. Time is there again with 2 seconds below standard. Both Jonathan and I made 3:49.9, so let's call it 3:50. Standard time 3:52. It's good ground.
It is good ground. It is good ground. It is good ground. It is good ground.
Well, one of the other people I met walking the track was Andrew Tinkley, who said, after what we've been riding on all winter, this will seem like good to firm. And you know, the way the horses are finishing, they're not staggering up the hill, they're absolutely charging up it.
Let's break off and hear from the winning owner here. Rich Ritchie has just seen Douvan gallop to victory in the Arkle in such tremendous fashion.
Yeah, many congratulations, Rich. Douvan didn't so much win the Arkle as take it apart.
Thanks, Stuart. He's a monster. I don't know how else to describe him. He was so easy, wasn't he? I watched that race. I've never watched him, but he's that good even I can watch. I wasn't, but he stood a long way off from the last, didn't he? Gave me a bit of a fright there, but he's something else. He could be really, really special now, and he's such a lovely horse, and for such a big horse, he's such a great athlete. It's nice to get one on the board, and that was some way to do it.
Yeah, you mentioned there wasn't much margin for error at the last, but other than that, it had been a beautiful, if not spectacular, round of jumping.
He was just very good, isn't he? He's always pleased us. He's very, very, very exciting, I have to say. And Willie has said he's the best he's ever had. He's certainly the best we've had, and hopefully he can keep doing it and stay sound. That's the important bit.
Yeah, and he has the ability, seemingly, to take a race away from the opposition without really trying too much.
No, he's so quick. He's effortless. That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, he's just so sort of up and down, isn't it? Sort of shrugging his shoulders and over a fence, and he's so quick from the back of his fences without looking like it, that it's extraordinary. He's got a big long stride though, doesn't he? He's got everything, you know. He just seems to have everything. Touch wood, he stays healthy.
Yeah, fingers crossed for that. An exciting horse of the future. You must already be looking forward to next year's festival.
Yes, of course. Well, we've got a lot to get done here first, so hopefully. But yeah, he's a terrific horse to have, and hopefully he can stay sound. That's the important bit.
And briefly, we started perhaps not quite in the way you would have hoped with Min. Probably that third flight error didn't really help him, did it?
Didn't help. It was 1 second off the course record, wasn't it? Something like that.
Time.
I just wonder if we chased the pace. Maybe they went too fast, and I don't know. But of course, what's funny is that would talk me out of it is the ones who were up front the whole time stayed, didn't they? Sharville finished 4th, I think, didn't he? So that throws that theory out the window. I just think the horse that beat is a better horse, and Middle will have his days. He can jump a fence, but that Altior looked very special to me as well. He's good.
Yeah, time may show you bumped into an exceptional talent today.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. Yeah.
Well, good to get one on the board then.
Yep. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well done.
Thank you.
Of Rich Ritchie's day, the linchpin of Ruby Walsh and Willie Mullins' day. Douvan has delivered as expected. Willie Mullins had to wait until this time last year for his first success in the Arkle, when Underso delivered, and now he's delivered the shortest priced winner in history. Strongly backed after such an incomparably good start to his chasing career. There's Willie Mullins watching him alongside Harold Kirk and very much enjoying the performance that Douvan has put up, and he's been quoted obviously for next year's Queen Mother Champion Chase, and he is 6-4 for that with Sky Bet, who are also making 5-1 for the King George and 8-1 for the Gold Cup. Oh dear. Douvan is 11-8 with Stan James for the Queen Mother Champion Chase, and 3-1 with Bet Victor, and 2-1 with Paddy Power. What do you think of that? What do you think of Dem Apples?
Well, I mean, you like to think of the Champion Chase, wouldn't it? I mean, I really don't think other races about. They just enjoy that. I think someone suggested, and I don't know if it's true, first Supreme Novice Hurdle winner to come back and win the Arkle the next year since Flying Bolt. Unusual. If that's true, it's a long time ago. Jonathan was in short trousers then.
If that's true, that's quite some footsteps to follow in. Douvan has won the Arkle.
What a thought. There is Douvan coming back in. Faultless performance from him, really, bar the last, but that's splitting hairs. 4-1 on favourite, beat Sizing John 9-1 and 7 ran.
1-4. What a fall.
Yeah, those who snapped up the 130 on half an hour before were laughing now, aren't they? Get in.
For many people, this would have been the linchpin of the day. It was certainly the linchpin for Ruby Walsh, Richie and Susanna Ritchie and Willie Mullins, and he's coming